Conversation with Dayo and Tola.
Wherever you're listening across the world, this is Oluyole 98.5 FM, and it's time for Conversation with Dayo and Tola. I am Ola Dayo Ogunbowale.
I am Tola Teriba. Good morning.
Welcome to the show. Newspaper review with top-notch analysis, Mondays through Saturdays, 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. Coming to you live from the stables of Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, broadcasting live from Oluyole 98.5 FM, also coming to you via Agility 92.1 FM, Okiogun 96.3 FM, all under the radio network of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State. We cover the whole of Oyo State and around perfectly than anyone else. Okay, and we're also live on Facebook, facebook.com/Oluyole98.5 FM. We're live on Twitter at Oluyole FM, Instagram Oluyole98.5 FM, and so wherever you want us to be, we are right there. In due course, we'll open the phone lines for you to join the discussion of the day. Today is the 13th day of the 6th month, June 2020, just a day after Democracy Day. So democracy is still in the air. A lot of discussions around democracy and how far we've fared, on this journey. Some are to date it back to 1993, not just 1999, and all that. So yes, we'll still have some stories regarding how yesterday was commemorated across the country, and that's why we'll go straight to the newspapers. I have a copy of the Punch newspaper,
and I have a copy of the Saturday Tribune.
Edo governorship poll. PDP opens door as Obaseki loses APC ticket. And Ryder, disqualification unjust. I won't appeal, says embattled governor. No law stops party from screening Obaseki again. What's that supposed to mean? That's Oluyole. No shaking. Obaseki will contest, win election, says aide. APC will suffer dire consequences for barring incumbent Odigie Oyegun. That's on page 3 of the Punch newspaper.
And Obaseki has not joined us. That's coming from the People's Democratic Party. Why we disqualified him? APC. I think that's obvious. And Oluyole is APC's Undertaker, says Odige Oyego.
What do Undertakers do again?
Well, they bury the dead. They take care of the burial rights.
All right. So who is getting buried? All right. Family demands ex-president status for MKO Abiola. My father waged war against poverty. That's Afsat Abiola. Right, the details of that on page 9 of the Punch newspaper.
And rumbles in the first family. Aisha Buhari cries out over detained aides. Says IGP should not expose them to COVID-19. That's on page 4 of the Saturday Tribune. You want to know what that's all about? Well, we'll get to that.
Let me help you. Release my aides in police custody. Aisha begs IG as fresh crisis rocks Villa. Page 7 of the Punch. We thought it was Mr. Kiari that was.
Honestly.
Release my aides in police custody. Aisha begs IG as fresh crisis rocks Villa.
Okay, and we'll see. Wadume military has refused to release its men for trial, says Attorney General. That's on page 6 of the Saturday Tribune. Yesterday you said the AAG would have a lot of explaining to do.
So which one happened first? They not releasing their men, or he striking out their names? Which happened first?
I wonder. We'll get to take the story.
So he gets to pass the buck now. All right, so we'll see where the buck stops eventually. COVID-19 health workers will receive allowances, life insurance next week, says Minister. And by the way, cases rise by 627 National tally now 15,181. Page 7 of the Punch newspaper.
Have the doctors spoken about their intended strike dressing doctors now that they will be getting something?
I think some negotiations should be underway as we speak, since government is saying they'll be paid next week.
Okay.
So yeah, as soon as they get their lads.
And of course they should also hack into their calls for more protective equipment in the course of duty. I think this is very, very crucial.
Definitely, very important.
Why I raped 80-year-old woman and many others in Kano, says a suspect. That's on page 5 of the Saturday Tribune. Just about satisfying his libido, if anything. If that story is anything to go
if
by.
I'm allowed to carry a placard, I'll just say castrate him.
Honestly, because since
there's no point.
Because since that particular part of his anatomy seems to be the trouble, seems to be why not just
help him?
Help him.
Tinubu's daughter denied knowledge of fresh levies at Computer Village. President Traders Associations says that pages 22 and 23 of the Punch newspaper.
Coronavirus survivors can be reinfected, says experts. That's on page 7 of the Saturday Tribune. So it's not yet who, if you're a survivor, you still need to be very careful. Still very cautious, observe COVID-19, anti-COVID-19 rules and regulations.
I told you there will most likely be cases, if possible, a class suit on the, the case that Malami decided to, expunge the soldiers from. Taraba killings, Malami's decision to shield killer soldiers from trial, shameful, slain policeman's brother. It's not likely that these people will allow it to go that way. Yes, the Attorney General is involved, but I mean, how many people just go and sit down and then you watch the killers of your husband or family member just get removed? I mean, that's like giving them a clean bill of health automatically when you remove them from the whole suit. So, well, I think they started talking one after the other. I hope they are not already marching to the court too. This looks messy. I think Malami should rethink his decision here.
And to me, they say that military has refused to release its men for trial. Well, how convenient. And now, is it that the military men were never arrested in the first instance?
Exactly.
And if they were, who arrested them and in whose custody were they kept? And was there no synergy or communication between the police, the military authorities and the Justice Ministry on this? Why the hurry to go on trial if the necessary processes regarding the accused soldiers had not been concluded? And in any case, from past antecedents, it usually doesn't take this long for the military to release its own for civil trial where they have been indicted of such crimes. Now, the AG, well, I use the word in the story, use the word perhaps the processes had not been concluded by the military to release them for trial.
Process.
Meaning he's not sure.
With process.
Meaning he doesn't know.
This is was like, well, we'll take the story. Let me not jump to conclusion. We'll take the story if that permits us. Building permit, Lagos sees 34 Banana Island properties. Targets more. These are high-profile persons. Okay.
Going after the eye and the mighty.
But this one is serious. No true democracy in Nigeria yet. Guess who's saying that? A body that should know. Nigerian Bar Association.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the same Nigerian Bar Association also says June 12, NBA charges federal state governments to respect the rule of law. Well, perhaps a word for Malamele.
I mean, serious one. Oh yeah, him being the Attorney General, and it's one of them anyway.
He's one of them.
So you should know. Our cultists looking for me gunned down OAU students in my presence. That's Legacy, ex-OAU student union government president. Pages 26 and 27. Unfortunately, the cultists on campuses then are now big men in politics today. That's a
very big problem.
So I think he's shouting, he's crying out because he's not safe. When he sees people who he saw point blank gunning down people, his mates dead. Now having security. So you know your life is not safe.
But what's wrong with the system? How do bad people always manage to get to the top? I mean, definitely it must be with they can't get there without the collaboration of we the ordinary citizens, without the support of we ordinary citizens. We do the voting, sometimes we do the campaigning, and we just don't seem to see that there's something wrong with a particular crop of people getting into the echelons of power.
So when good people fail to participate actively in politics, who else do we expect to be there? So whether we like it or not, in fact, I tell people not participating is actually a kind of participation, because you aid the other people to get into power. Check out the population of yours. How many people actually vote for the governorship election? Let's just take it like that. We had a governor who won, who at a time won with maybe a little about 200,000 votes. And you'll be wondering how a local government should be able to muster that. But people won't vote. Okay, that's one. Two, there's this mindset politics is a dirty game, it's for dirty people. Okay, then you continue to have dirty people in politics. It's as simple as that. And so that's why at every opportunity I have, I make that advocacy possible. That see, if we continue to allow the, in quote, dirty people, the riffraffs, the cultists, the non-compos, if we continue to allow these guys, in quotes, participate in politics and perpetuate them, this is what we will continue to talk about.
I know, like you have just said, people saying politics is a dirty game. My heart bleeds each time you see eminent Nigerians who would have made very excellent governors, who would have made very good senators and House of Reps members, and the technocrats, the very cerebral ones, and who by character they would make very good leaders, telling you that, I cannot soil my name, I cannot go and join that bandwagon of vagabonds, so they would say. And you begin to wonder, if you sit back and you, like you said, you keep on allowing the so-called vagabonds to continue to ride roughshod over the rest of the people,
make vagabond policies on your behalf, and you have no choice than to. The worst we can do, when you allow such to happen, is just complain or rant, as the case may be. They'll keep making decisions, good or bad. That's the best they know. After all, you allow them to take over the reins of. I think it's high time we begin to push our bests out there and allow them make decisions that will better our lives. Participation in politics, participation in electioneering process is a no-brainer for me. We all should play our part. That's very important, if you ask me. 22-year-old police woman killed in Kogi robbery had yet to collect her first salary. She's a rookie. Cousin food vendor spared by masked gunman. But because she was in uniform, she had to go. Too bad.
And the sad thing about it is that the family probably will say, they're so the commercial we asked her not to join the police.
We're very good with that in this part of the world. Fortunately, 22-year-old
in the line of duty,
not even collected for salary. So rest in peace.
Amen. And the police shoot dead 7 suspected robbers in Benue. That's on page 5 of the Saturday Tribune.
And we have let's see. This is a couple more stories. PDP Afenifere Ohanaeze fault President's Democracy Day speech. Page 10 of the Punch newspaper. I was watching a particular TV. I was monitoring a particular TV station while the speech lasted yesterday, and after it finished, I think about 37 minutes or thereabout. And the first person they will interview I said, you people did not even try. At least get somebody that would, But it was just the truth. So PDP Afenifere Ohanaeze fault President's Democracy Day speech. If time permits, to take that story and see what points precisely they have about that speech.
And we're coming from the divorce courts. Some very interesting stories. My wife hit me with stick on the head after a secret affair with another man was revealed. Now, he gained access into my room through the ceiling, almost asked me to death, says wife. Now, another case, my husband does all night love making, demands for weird positions, says wife. Now she drinks beer. I found condoms in her bag, caught her with another man, that's coming from the husband. And also, my husband beats me blue black, starves me of sex, says woman. Her husband sends account number to court for refund of a bride price. That's on page 21 of the Saturday Tribune. And most of these marital issues.
When I hear things, I just sometimes it's just swap some husbands or some wives. Now you see somebody who wants to do all nights, and that one is saying somebody is starving her. Swap now. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. I didn't join them. It's just on a lighter mood. It's Saturday anyway. For those wondering,
you will see that most of these marital issues are mostly about sex.
Usually. So that's why I said they should just swap now. When somebody is asking for too much and somebody needs more, swap. And exchange your marital vows. After all, they are in court. Don't mind me. All right, it's just my opinion right there. Cynical people manipulating democracy for selfish gains. That's Professor Oluyole right there saying on the Punch newspaper, page 9 of the Punch newspaper precisely. Cynical people manipulating democracy for selfish gains. Professor Soyinka. And we also have June 12. Punish IBB. Orders. Balarabe Musa tells Buhari on page 10 of the Punch newspaper.
Somebody asking IBB to answer for his role in June 12. Well, that should be the appropriate way to go. Also, one more echoes of June 12. No date like June 12. That's coming from Governor Abiodun. And June 12, opportunity to unite, move Yoruba land forward, says Odua Action Movement. And Buhari will be remembered for his decision on June 12, says Governor Fayemi. On June 12, Buhari has shown readiness to embrace democratic ethos, says Governor Rotimi Akeredolu. All these on page 6 of the Saturday Tribune.
That sounds interesting. I think we'll just go to the spot page of the Punch newspaper from page 30. Dare hails Buhari Abiola at stadium unveiling. The National Stadium was renamed Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja. And you can see the front of the stadium right there wearing a new look. It's been renamed Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja. Okay, and we have committee recommends NSF for October 25 to November 4. That's the National Sports Festival for October 25 to November 4. That's also on page 30 of the Punch newspaper.
And on page 31 of the Saturday Tribune sports page, COVID-19 EPL returned too early. That's according to an opinion poll. And I thought fans were actually happy about the return of EPL.
They're happy. At least the viewers are happy. The prospective viewers are happy. Council MPFL season. Clubs, chiefs urge LMC, that's Nigerian Professional League. They're asking that it should be cancelled for whatever reasons best known to them.
Now, I punch other than Joshua, says Tyson Fury.
We'll see now.
I will prove that in the ring.
He says I'm weak there. He should wait till they get that punch better, wait, just calm down. When they punch land on your head now, you understand. I want to play in EPL. Of course, that's not me. At my age, I was only tired. Simon is saying that Nigeria's winger, Moses Simon, says he wants to play in the English Premier League. That's also on the last page of the Punch newspaper, sports page of the Punch newspaper. There's a partisan demands 10 million euros for Sadiq. These stories on the back page of the Punch newspaper. That's about sports here.
Lily plays 80 million euros on Osimhen. South Africa government approves football restart, and Akoguma will make Eagles too strong for Africa.
Too strong.
Too strong.
Okay. That's what we need.
Too strong.
That's what we need. No. Anyway, time check 6:50 a.m. Destination time 7:30 a.m. It's conversation with Dayo and Tola. We're out here now. Oluyole 98.5 FM right here in our studios in Iliakede Orita Bashoron, Ibadan. Where you listening to us? Tell us where you're listening on social media. When you call, let's also know where you're calling from. It's time to take major stories. I think I like that headline in front of you.
Aisha Buhari
from the villa. Let's start from there.
Yeah. Aisha Buhari cries out over detained aides, asks IGP not to expose them to COVID-19. Says security agents should enforce lockdown without favors. What's that all about? Wife of President Muhammadu Buhari, Aisha Buhari, on Friday cried out that her staff members were being detained by the police. She did not state the reason for the detention of the aides nor the identities of the detainees. The development came amidst online reports that some of the First Lady's aides had been arrested on the orders of a personal assistant to the president. The personal assistant, according to Sahara reporters, was said to have traveled to Lagos in violation of President Buhari's subsisting order, stopping interstate movement because of COVID-19. Now, Mrs. Buhari's security aides were said to have asked him to self-quarantine for 14 days before he could be allowed back into the villa, a demand that reportedly led to the disagreement, which led to the arrest of the aides of the First Lady. Now, in a series of tweets released at 7:11 p.m. on Friday, Mrs. Buhari asked the Inspector General of Police not to endanger the lives of her aides by exposing them to COVID-19 in detention. Her words, that COVID-19 is real and still very much around in our nation, is not in doubt. Consequently, I call on all relevant government agencies to enforce the Quarantine Act signed by Mr. President and ensure no one is found violating this law and the NCDC guidelines, especially on interstate travel, without the necessary exemptions for movement of essentials. Aisha Buhari cried out over detained aides, asks IGP not to expose them to COVID-19. Again, could this mean that all is not well within the First family? I mean, could that aid have acted without Mr. President's blessing? And does it mean we still have some overbearingly powerful individuals working for the president behind the curtains and the shield of power? Now, talking about Aisha Buhari, I see a quintessential woman, a vibrant Amazon, if you like, but whose influence in the scheme of things is being whistled down. If you look at the trend of happenings, remember a series of face-offs with the later Chief of Staff, Abakari.
I think at the end of the day, we are finally getting to understand what she meant by cabal. You know, a group of people calling the shots from the villa on behalf of Mr. President, whether or not he's aware of it. Unfortunately, Abakari had to, be the scapegoat, so all the blames were heaped directly on him. Unfortunately, we're discovering over time that there are persons who I call kingsmen. People who are close to the king are called kingsmen. They are not necessarily kinsmen. Aisha Buhari will go for a kinsman family, okay, but it appears in this dispensation we have more kingsmen who are more powerful than kinsmen. Why a personal assistant to the president will order an arrest of aides to the wife of the president? You begin to ask yourself, how powerful is that personal assistant to the president?
Because usually, while the First Lady does not hold an official political office, she is usually the person not to cross.
Exactly. So on a normal day, she's usually
that's the
Miriams. I mean, the Stellas, or even most recently the Turais. You will know what this. Is it Mama Peace you want to?
You want to cross.
You understand? So I'm beginning to wonder what exactly is going on in that villa. Really, sometimes I wonder. Do these people even talk? Do they know themselves? What happens to camaraderie? For God's sake, you're working for the same government. Remember the old tussle on social media? I beg your pardon. What's her name now? Abike Dabiri versus Issa Pantami. You chased my workers out. You did not chase my workers out. You locked up our equipment. 2 weeks after, as if, I mean, somebody was just waiting to side or take sides, but the person did not want to go to the public. The Nigerian Ports Authority, the lady in charge, I've forgotten her name now, decided to buy computer and all that and donated it, to the Diaspora Commission. She's passing across a message. My sister, I know you are being embattled, so take this computer, go and work. Obviously she knows what's going on. These guys sit, I hope they sit and talk. You are working for the same government. Why are you shooting yourself? Why the mutiny?
And the exposure, the unnecessary exposure.
Hey, so should these things be on the pages of newspaper? Why can't, is somebody in charge?
And you would expect that even if an aide of the president had overstepped its bounds in court, you would expect that the queen would actually cry to the king.
I'm telling you, not on the paper. It sounds somehow, if you ask me, it sounds somehow. What exactly is going on? And see, it does not matter how well you try to, quote this or whatever, it's hard for development to happen. When even within the camp, we are not talking for, this is not PDP or APGA fighting them now. It's not IPOB. It's within. It's hard to progress when there's enemy in the camp. I think somebody needs to look within and solve their problems in-house.
Now looking at the issues at stake, is it the first lady's aide that should have the responsibility? I mean, where someone has traveled in breach of COVID-19 regulations and that person belongs to the villa, is it the first lady's aide that should bring that person to book, or are they the ones that should ask that person to go into quarantine? I mean, what happens to the protocol officers at the villa? What happened to the security aides of the president himself?
I think it's just show of power. There's really no big deal in all this. I mean, I've been opportunity to visit the villa, so I can confidently tell you there are times that something has to happen, and somebody from Aguda house needs to go to the main house, the villa, or go and talk to somebody, or a message gets sent, and you get there and you're like, bros, were you not the one in Lagos yesterday? I'm just trying to paint a picture of what probably happened. You went to Lagos now, bros, you should go and quarantine now, Okay. And as a security agent, you can't visit where madam will be. You went to Lagos, go and self-quarantine. And the person is telling them, what's your business? I am here from, I can just imagine what probably went on. They can't arrest him. That's the truth. Okay, if they can, or if they could, they would have, but it's not their purview. But it's their job to protect, the first lady and everybody around her. Go and self-quarantine. And the guy got angry, went back and called the IG, arrest these people. And that one too did not ask question. Went there into the villa, arrested aid to the it's somehow. I mean, where will you be? So they are against themselves inside the same Asolok.
Like I said, rumbles in the villa.
Well, I think I'll just leave their story. Because there's more stories to talk about. It's happening in Edo. Some people said it's a season film that it just started the other time. I think they are right. Edo governorship poll. PDP opens door as Obaseki loses APC ticket. Following his disqualification by the All Progressive Congress, there are indications that the embattled governor of Edo State, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, may consider running on the platform of another political party to realize his second-term ambitions. Saturday Punch, has learned. The screening committee of the party, headed by Professor Jonathan Ayuba, while presenting the committee's report to the party's National Working Committee, said the governor was disqualified from participating in the party's June 22 primary because of the discrepancies in his names and certificates, and for taking the party to court in contravention of the party's rules. Did you see that? Okay, so most people are not talking about that one. That he took them to court. Now, in the report received by the national chairman of the party, Mr. Adams Oshiomhole, Ayuba noted that Obaseki claimed to have obtained an national AI school certificate from the Institute of Continuing Education Center Education in Benin, but that he did not produce the certificate. They issue certificates. It's just an exam they write in those places. So. That's it. HSC. Now you write exam. All right, but don't mind me. I'm not the certificate and the document produced only attested to his attendance. That's what you get. He said further that the governor's National Youth Service Corps certificate reads Obasek Godwin, and that while this could be an error on the part of NYSC, the governor never took any step to correct the anomaly. Obaseki and two other aspirants, Chris Ogewoyi and Matthew Iduri, were disqualified from participating in the party primary ahead of the September 19, 2020 governorship election in the state. Those cleared to take part in the primary were Mr. Osaro Obaze, Dr. Pius Odubo, and, as expected, Pastor Osage Ize Iyami, the purportedly anointed. Sequel to the disqualification, the national leadership of the People's Democratic Party has declared the party's doors open for the governor. It was, however, not clear if the governor would get automatic ticket in the party if he decides to run on its platform. PDP opens door as Obaseki loses APC ticket. That's on page 3 of the Punch newspaper.
So Obaseki, Ogunbowale. So
Ogumbo is even it's just one word, one letter.
That was
Obaseki. I mean, and they said they didn't bother complaining it, but they didn't say the NYS certificate was fake. They only said that the name was different. My challenge here in all of this, when they were screening him ahead of the 2016 elections that brought him in, all these were not seen. It did not matter. I think some people should go and answer in court. How they manage to support somebody to,
I think the party chairman too should be liable for presiding over his emergence in the first instance. Despite all these discrepancies,
he had it coming. It's just, but he said he won't be contesting it. I think that's clear. He said he would not be appealing. He said, I won't appeal, says embattled governor. Meanwhile, Obaseki said he would not appeal his disqualification, saying it will be an effort in futility. Special advisor to the governor of media and communication strategy, Crusoe Osage, in a statement said, we have watched the mockery of the democratic process with which Mr. Adams Oshiomhole is administering and superintending over in our great party, the All Progressive Congress. It has been an unfortunate, disheartening and dreadful spectacle. We had initially asserted that by going by the open display and enthronement of the illegality by one man in the party that comprises several organs and eminent personalities, there is no way that Governor Godwin Obaseki would get a fair assessment. I won't appeal, says embattled governor. I mean, these are clear cases of, if you ask me. Time check, 7:01. I think we'll do for commercial break. Right, we'll go on the break. When we're back, more stories, and we'll go from the phone lines. Don't go anywhere.
Are you aware that you can now obtain your certificate of occupancy in just 60 days under the Oyo State Home Owners Charter Scheme, OYHOC? Just buy the OYHOC recharge card for 6,000 naira only from the Office of Lands in the local government, LCDA, or at the Secretariat, Agodi. Register your application by following instructions on the back of the recharge card, as the PIN number on the recharge card is the application number, and only applications with a vital PIN will be processed. The good news is that CFO processing fee for various types of properties are affordable and can be paid instrumentally. Not only that, your CFO can be used for bank loan or any financial transaction. It is now digitalized, so information on it can be accessed anytime, anywhere in the world. Hurry up! This offer is only available to the 31st of December 2020. For further inquiries, call 0700-696-52637.
Oluyole 98.5 FM.
So glad to know you're there. It's Oluyole 98.5 FM and conversation with Dayo and Tola. You just tuning in. You missed. Okay, I am Oladayo Ogunbowale.
And I'm Tola Teriba.
We'll take more stories.
Before I take this story, we're still talking about the Obaseki issue. And the man saying that he won't be contesting the reason is disqualification. Well, while I'm not playing the judge or the jury here, while I'm not saying what APC did was right or wrong, but I still think, for whatever it is worth, I still think he should contest this thing. I mean, it's not just about him, it's for the sake of the records, and seeing that at least he went the whole hog. And let's see how the judiciary would interpret these matters. And I also see a scenario where, well, probably maybe Governor Obaseki might be doing everything he can to see that APC doesn't win that state. I don't know.
We hope it doesn't get to that level. Who am I? It was my opinion. It was my opinion account here. But I hope they manage their internal politics. He's the governor, and these are things you don't joke with. He's the sitting governor. And for those who might be wanting to compare Edo with Lagos State, sorry, they are not the same. They are so not the same. The elections that brought in Godwin Obaseki against Ize Yamu, they barely won with about 50-something thousand votes. That's the truth, which a single local government, if you package yourself well, can overturn. So the state had never belonged to one party. Trying to compare Lagos to Edo, you might be wrong. Moreover, there's no direct godfather who controls everything. Oluyole is in Abuja. This sitting governor is in charge. That's the truth. You remember when they had issues with the national chairman, he got the state party chairman to, what did they do to him? Suspend. Was it suspension, or they even totally removed him? National chairman. So it shows you how much power he wields. But then, of course, what do I know? Let's see how things work out. Those who said it's a season film, I think they are right. We'll wait for the next episode. You have the story there.
Wadume military has refused to release its men for trial, says AGF Malami. Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami SAN has disclosed that the military authorities were yet to release soldiers involved in the killing of policemen who went to arrest a notorious kidnapper Wadume in Adamawa State. In a statement on Friday by his media assistant Umar Jubilu Gwandu, Malami said the non-availability of the military men involved in the killing was responsible for the removal of their names on the charge sheet. What the office did was to sever the charges in view of the unavailability of the soldiers who in their own case need to be released by the military authorities in view of the fact that they were perhaps undergoing military processes before their release. The interest of justice requires and legitimately allowed for segmenting the case in the interest of speedy trial. And he also says it is in the interest of justice to accord speedy trial to the accused persons that are readily available to stand trial, as against delaying at the expense of other co-accused persons who in the peculiarity of the case are not available for immediate arraignment. And I'll fast forward, it disclosed that his office had taken steps to procure the availability of the co-accused and shall have them arraigned immediately upon procuring their availability by the military authorities. Some explanations there by the AGF.
When you begin to hear somebody's available, somebody's not, those are the people that perpetrated the, I mean, these are the guys that shot at their vehicle now, and you remove their name. Who else is involved? Wadume Abi?
And the AGF is not even sure, he's not certain as to why the military authorities have not released them. He used the word perhaps. They are still undergoing processes. Has he not been in touch with them?
He's claiming ignorance, and you can't say he knows what he says he does not know. I mean, I think that's just the way it is. When people say they don't know something, and you have to just, well, we still have a couple of stories, but it's Saturday. We want to hear your voice. It's time for you, our distinguished listeners, to contribute to the show wherever you are. Just let us know your name and location. Please, 60 seconds. Let's not do more than a minute, so that more people can contribute to the program today. 08055 009850. 08055 009850. We have a very first caller here.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning,
Mr. Falonu.
Nice to have you, sir. Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
I just said in that comment. Compared to what I did that
Nadeko. Yes, sir.
Yes, we are government. What democracy are the attack from Nigeria? This is not democracy yourself. It's not democracy we fought for. Until we take this constitution, I think Mr. Dayo can testify to it that less than 3 years ago, we took the constitution, this anti-people constitution. It's so oligarchic in nature. It doesn't give me for good governance. Look at our governor here. He wants to work. our problem in the state. They cannot work beyond the scope of that constitution. They cannot give you something without the constitution. The constitution as well will not continue to be down around the table. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Faladu. We really appreciate that. The constitution definitely has to be worked upon. I mean, if you look at what the NBA is saying, there's no true democracy in Nigeria yet, says Nigerian Bar Station. The phone line is still open. 08055009850. There's someone here.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
This is Haruna from Odoru Ogomosho.
Nice to have you, sir.
Mr. Dianchi, good morning this morning.
Good morning.
I will keep praying for you today that God Almighty will always be your friend.
Amen.
Amen.
You see, at times when we look at Nigerian politics, someone will just be laughing at one corner. When you are in a particular party today, you will be saying that this is the best party you have ever seen. But by the time you leave, you decamp to another party, Nigeria will be saying another thing. I don't know where we are going in this country. The Almighty God continue to save us and to provide all our needs. My Ronaldo missed out the penalty yesterday. I'm not happy.
All right. Sport loving fan. It happens. Stars miss too. Yusuf Hal at Abu Spay on Twitter said, Ademojida, are you saying that court is dead and not the politicians of today? Is it to say that our present politicians all were cultists? You answer the question. I'm not sure I can make the emphatic statement. He also says, when your mother's concubine is greater than your father, you prostrate to greet him at night. This always happens when you forget your genesis. Talking about the Edo squabble right there.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Freddy calling from Ringo.
Okay.
Bill from Ringo. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you. I want to just actually master concerning the Edo crisis.
Okay.
Now, the issue at stake is this, and very clear. If you recall very well in year 2000, Evans Engelem was impeached as president, all because when he was serving in the old Imo State, he was serving with the name Evans Engelem. By the time he got to Senate, he became Evans Engelem. And so when that discrepancy was discovered, it led to his impeachment as the Senate president. So there is no ambiguity in what the screening panel has discovered about Obaseki's advocacy. They tell me, how could you bear Obaseki and Obaseki at the same time? The same thing happened with Fayose also. Now, for example, he came from Polybadon. He was bearing Oluyole instead of Fayose. And was taking court because the court has clearly. So the screening panel has not committed any error. As far as I'm concerned. Thank you. Have a nice day.
All right,
thank you.
Mr. Bill sharing his opinion right there. I'll quickly take a few comments from Facebook. Ojedo Confirmi Zakios saying good morning, Mrs. T and D, wishing you a blessed and wonderful weekend. Ismail Lukman saying good morning, sir, Mr. D and T. Ekweto, Olorun yo wa pẹ̀lú yín o. Okay. From Oshogbo, thank you. Okay, Fia Oshogbo, thank you so much. Nikki Ajobiewe saying good morning, Mrs. Diane Tola, about Edo politics. Okay, good. No permanent friends or enemies. Governor Obaseki can collect the PDP ticket so that he can show how popular he is in Edo politics. From Nikki Ajobiewe, Omiadio Ibadan. We'll go back to the phone lines.
Hello, good morning.
You're on.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
We didn't hear your name, please. Hello? Oh, do well to call back. That was from your hand. Oh, it appears a call dropped his call.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Tola.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. This is Adenuga Amotayo from Agoy.
Okay, please go ahead.
I am in support of Balarabe saying Ibrahim Babangida should be punished for what he committed years back.
Okay.
Because looking at it from the history, what he did then is really having a press on the country present. He committed a very great felony. I mean, claiming as a general, then he could not lay his life down, probably because Abacha might kill him then, if he did not turn down the election then. So I'm in support of the days of punishing that the president should make sure he faces the wrath of law. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right. But, I mean, who was Abacha when Babangida was there now? I mean, would Abacha have killed him? He made a choice. He made a decision. And, well, was he pressured to do it?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Yamonsura.
Yamonsura from Urikanero, Gumasho.
All right. Good to hear from you.
Happy weekend. How is your family?
Fine, thank you.
Fine.
God will be with you.
Amen.
Is it true that Aruna say about the politics in Nigeria that we don't know where we are going?
Thank you so much, from Ogbomoso. Matthew Olalero is saying June 12th, government should relaunch electoral reform in the best interest of Nigeria. As regards Edo APC saga between Oshiomhole and Obaseki, the game is now becoming clearer and clearer. Happy weekend. Yes, so from Emilio. Matthew Olalero just made a very valid point. As long as the speech was yesterday by Mr. President, he never mentioned electoral reform. And seriously, that is what the old democratic dispensation is hinged on.
It's all about
how do we get people into office? If we're not talking electoral reform, we're not talking anything.
How do we see the width from the shaft?
That's it. Back to the phone line.
Hello, good morning.
Hello. Close to your radio set.
Hello, how are you?
Okay, better now.
Okay,
we're very fine, man. We should say, man.
What is Malami? Malami is that also. Is he the first one to do his own or the army? When he reduced from 16 suspects to 7, nobody thought. And now he's shielding Wadumi. God is there, oh. God is there. God will depend on him. Where are we going in this country? There is no righteous. God bless me and you.
Amen.
Thank you.
All right.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Grandma from Ilorin. I mean, the build-up to Wadume's eventual arrest, it was obvious he was making phone calls with some top military brass. And it's clear Wadume knows people.
In the high places.
So anybody who is surprised at what is playing out today,
at the highest levels of civil and military command.
Knows people. Wadume knows people. Unfortunately.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, I've been Bola from the road.
Nice to have you, sir.
Yeah, I just want to contribute to this too. Concerning this democracy day. Those who that have been contributing that we don't have a true democracy in Nigeria, they are very correct. Our problem in this country is our constitution. Some of these bad people, they have eaten themselves under this wrong constitution that we have. So our constitution needs complete overhauling. I don't know how we are going to do it. Maybe they should invite people from different segments of society and sit down and reconstruct our constitution. Without doing that, there's no way Nigeria can move forward. The constitution we are using now has giving opportunity for those bad people to thrive. So we need to do something on that.
All right.
Good morning.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bimba. Really appreciate you. Lashupo Ibironke on Facebook say, who is deceiving who? No democracy in Nigeria. All Democrats structures have been destroyed by by a party. Recent one is Edo Obaseki saga. INEC no longer independent. Ajala Oladayo saying, good morning, sirs. Edo State political drama has just started. It is a product of godfatherism and lack of party ideology in our polity, which portends danger to a democracy. God bless Nigeria. Ajala Oladayo from Ogbomoso. Rogbade Williams. Say, good morning, sirs. Tweeting from Ogbomoso. APC has really put Obaseki dreams on hold. Power pass power. Whosoever that mother sheep sleep shall sleep no more. Food for thought. And that's what Rogbade Williams from Ogbomoso. Okay. Oluwaseun Okikiola Okanlawon saying, hey, Mr. D&T, hope Obaseki case will not be that of Ambody. Godfatherism. Politicians should think about the future. I salute my governor GSM from Too Sure, watching live from Lagos. Too Sure. When did you get to Lagos?
Too Sure.
He has landed in Lagos.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Alaji Elabugo is calling from Lalate.
Nice to have you.
One should not bite the hand that feeds him or feed you. On Obaseki, it's my personal view. Obaseki sees himself as the empire, neglecting those who help him to achieve lofty heights. He should have used enough wisdom, play maturity, and put things into proper position. Remember, he was not the best among the best when he was chosen to become the candidate, and subsequently become the governor of the state. And as such, you shouldn't have played to the gallery. You play with maturity. You cannot condemn those who help you. In Yoruba, they said, so in everywhere, somebody has to help you to be in the certain position, to be in number one position. Even in the state, some people, although there's no governmentalism in the state, and we thank the governor for your state, notwithstanding some people are saying,
hello, Alaji.
Hello.
hello?
Okay.
Hello, okay.
Please round up your talk.
So if you, at least to my own consider view, make proper things, make things to be so easy for himself.
Okay.
For example, now we have to go to another party, and people reckon with party, whether we like it or not. People reckon with party. You cannot go to any party that is not notable, and you expect people to come and vote for you there. Nigeria is not right to that position. Thank you.
Thank you. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Adiola Sunday Facebook is saying, good morning, Diane Tola. About June 12th general election, 3 things that may not likely to happen in Nigeria again. 1, presidential Muslim tickets, large turnout of electorate, most free, fair, and credible elections in Nigeria. Comrade Adiola Sunday from Shaki. Well, it may still happen.
Let's not lose hope.
Exactly. I mean, we don't know what tomorrow will tell. let's hope for the best. It is immature for a sitting governor to be praising his godfather during broadcast. Sanwo-Olu praising Jagaban and Oshiomhole during broadcast to the state. What an empty broadcast. Well, that's the way you see it. Your opinion right there.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Odayo Antola.
Good morning, sir.
We appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
For keeping us informed.
Thank you, sir.
I want to talk about the Democracy Day.
Your name and location, sir.
Are there anything on ground to celebrate? If you are celebrating democracy, we must celebrate the gains of democracy, the benefits of democracy. Are those benefits on ground? We are celebrating poverty. Nigeria has just been declared headquarters of global poverty. We are celebrating ignorance. As I'm talking to you, 60 million Nigerians cannot read and write. We are celebrating penury. About 40 million Nigerians still dedicate in the bush. What are we celebrating? In fact, Nigeria ranks second in terms of open education in Nigeria. And the world. Behind what do you call it, India. Behind India, what are we celebrating? As I'm talking to you, we just consume what we produce, and we don't produce what we consume. I want you to look at the gadgets that you are surrounded with there. Which of them is produced in Nigeria? Even the garments that you people will put on, the cap, the shoes, the wristwatch, which one is produced in Nigeria? What are we celebrating? China improves its own technology, improves its own capacities. Today, why China does not consume what it doesn't produce? We have to start somewhere. Nigeria is operating, is a seller in the buyer's market and a buyer in the seller's market.
All right, thank you, sir. You didn't tell us your name and location, sir.
Afolabi is my name. I'm talking from Ogbomoso.
Nice to have you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for your
We really appreciate your comment. Thank you so much. Phone line still open. Let's see if we can pick a couple more calls, but please make it brief so we can entertain, accommodate more people.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
We can
Hello,
hear
we are
you.
with you.
Hello. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, you are on.
Thank you. Yes, my name is David, calling from Ogbomoso.
All right, please go ahead.
Hello.
Go
Go
ahead
on,
with
go
your
on.
comments.
Hello.
It's not mutual. It's not mutual. He can't hear us. Please do well to call back, Mr. David. We got your call, but we can't just hear you. Okay, Olasupo Brunke saying if I'm Obaseki, I won't decamp as he will still lose the election. They will use Oshun template. Oshunke. What's happening, Oshun? Okay. Adeshola Dedi, APC will fail woefully in Edo State. You are not good though. Don't conclude yet. He's talking from Ogbomoso saying, Christian Bola Adio say, well done, Dayantola, for the good job. I hope Nigeria is going to another era. What is going on in Edo State is just like a drama. May God help us, Nigerians. Fumulola Adewale saying, Mr. Dayantola, beautiful morning to you from there. On the case of Obaseki, why they blind when they are screening him in 2016? Hapa, APC, Takula, whatever that means. Anyways, everything good. Okay. All right. Anyways, everything has turned to drama in this country. I stop here, Jari, from Ogbomoso. We'll take one more call.
Hello, good morning.
We missed that call. Do well to call back. Okay, it's back.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, this is Adewale from Ogbomoso.
Prince, nice to have you. Please go ahead, briefly.
Well done, God bless you.
Amen.
Man.
You know, I've been saying it. I said it a couple of weeks ago that on the issue of Oluyole and Obaseki, I said it that the drama has just started.
Yes, sir.
I said it last week that we have seen episode 1, 2. This is episode 3. Episode 4, 5 are on the way. So that is how it goes. Let's wait and see what will happen. Then on the issue of Kwari and whatever, Kaba, wonders shall never end. That is another wonder again. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Good day. God bless you.
All right. Thank you so much, Prince. Akande Emmanuel say, good morning, DNT. I'm enjoying you this wonderful morning. Well done. Thank you. Olafimiho Jerry saying, Obaseki should know before that it will happen like that. Well done, Dayantola from Ikoyi. That's Oshun, right? Samuel Babatunde saying good morning. Let's make one last call.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Tolan. I'm from Ogbomoso.
Anthony, right?
Yes, from Ogbomoso.
Please go ahead.
The issue of Edo and Edo State, I said it earlier, it's just started. But the reality is that it only shows the quality of our politics in Nigeria. I know for people, they know what I'm talking about. It shows the quality of our politics in Nigeria. You know, yesterday I was unable to call in, but I said we are immortalizing Abiola. We are burying his idea. What a niche.
Thank you, Mr. Anthony. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. That's the last call for today. Alagbe John Adetoji saying good morning. Baba Buhari not in control in Aso Rock. Episode 2 has started in Edo. Good for our democracy. PDP will win the state. Okay, your opinion. 7th January, Happy Democracy Day. Okay, his name is actually 7th January. Happy Democracy Day to us all. My worry about our democracy is that we talk more about the problems and less of the solution to the problems. Many people know the problems and talk about it if given a chance to make a change. Daria Jongbo say, well done, the auntie Dari from Bodija. Thank you so much. Mary is in the studio. La Liga started. Ronaldo fans said he lost penalty. I didn't even watch the match. I hope they won. I'm not a fan of his club, so I didn't care. I mean, we are looking forward to the EPL starting. One United, Abuba is back.
Did you? Okay, I hope you know that United lost their friendly match.
It's a friendly match. It's a friendly match. I mean, EPL when we get back.
Are you sure it's not like a signs of things?
No, it's mid-season.
Match rust.
We'll be fine.
Okay, I'll tell you so.
Up next, 40 bits. Mary's here. Take it over.
Well, definitely bringing to you the best in the world of sports. There's a whole lot to go around this morning. We'll be starting off from the world of the National Sports Festival, where we have this new one coming in from there. And they're telling us that they have rescheduled the date for the National Sports Festival. They will be communicating as soon as ratification comes in from the presidency. Also, we'll be looking at the Anthony Joshua Tyson Fury Eddie triangle. We'll get to talk about that one. From there straight to some results from yesterday. There's a whole lot right here for you. We'll be right back. Good morning, welcome to Sport Take Biz this beautiful Saturday morning on your darling station, Oluyole 98.5 FM. Well, time to talk sports right here. Well, saying huge welcome to everyone joining us all the way from Agility FM 92.1, OK Ogun FM 96.3. Those joining us on the website www.bcs.tv/listen, on Facebook, on Twitter, and also on Instagram. We're saying welcome to the show this morning. The First Lady is definitely ready to serve you the latest this morning. My name is Maria Kinshola. Let's get straight to business. Okay, starting off from the world of the National Sports Festival, where they have now announced new dates, tentative dates for the National Sports Festival. That's talking about Edo 2020. Don't forget that one was supposed to hold between March the 22nd and April the 1st, but it was cancelled. It was postponed now. That's the word, because of the coronavirus pandemic. Now, it's been agreed that it's going to hold between the 25th of October and the 4th of November. Although the committee said that this is still pending ratification, which must come from the presidency and also the Ministry of Health. Will the Ministry of Health and the presidency give the go-ahead for this one by October the 25th? We will get to see that one. But as of 2 days ago now, when the Secretary to the Government of the Federation and also the PTF Chairman, that's talking about Boss Mustafa, he said that categorically that the government is not looking at the return to sports for a while as far as Nigeria is concerned. This is when he was asked about when football will be returning, when sports will be returning in Nigeria. He categorically said that the government is not looking in that direction for now. Everyone should just have to calm down and let us see. He says the government is rather concerned now about every other measures they have put in place for the reopening of the essential sector. So we will get to see if they will be changing their minds anytime soon. I'm sure everyone will be waiting to see that one. Okay, away from there now, straight to boxing, where British world heavyweight champions Anthony Joshua and also Tyson Fury have agreed to a 2-fight deal. This is according to promoter Eddie Hearn. Now, talks about a historic bout for the undisputed title began back in early May. Well, Joshua holds the WBA, IBF, and WBO belts, while 31-year-old Tyson Fury is a WBC champion. Tyson Fury defeated that was Deontay Wilder to lay his hands on the WBC belt. That was for so many people, they're still waiting to see how the trilogy between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder will go down. We'll get to talk about Anthony Joshua. I think at this point in time, this man who knows how to get into the newspapers, who knows how to get into the media, who knows how to get all of the spotlight, that's talking about Eddie Hearn. I think he's the one coming out with this one. We should probably just focus more on Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. Whatever happens there, we would get to see and understand. Okay, we can now move on to whatever Anthony Joshua is going to be doing. But then for now, they're looking at the venues for this fight. Some people are saying it should be in the UK because both of them are British. But then if it's about the money, maybe some Middle East countries also will be coming into the mix. It promises to be exciting. Well, away from there now, straight to the Formula One, where 3 more races have been cancelled. That's the Azerbaijan, Singapore, and also the Japanese race. They have been cancelled from the 2020 schedule due to the impact of the coronavirus pandemic. Well, however, FA remain confident of the finalizing a schedule between 15th and 18 races for this year. This is amid international interest for new venues which are not on the original calendar. So I think the big one here has to be the fact that Azerbaijan, Singapore, and also Japan have said they would not be able to host races for now. Now, as it stands, the only races we still have are the 8th that have been scheduled already. Fans of Formula One do remember that by July 3rd in Austria, the first race will begin at Sperberg. So many people are looking forward to that one. The driver is also going to be in match fitness mode for that one, race fitness mode for that one. We'll get to see, but then already test runs have already started. Drivers have already started acquainting themselves back with their cars and all of that. So we will get to see how that one will turn out. That will be by July the 3rd. But for so many people, again, here has to be the fact that it's going to be behind closed doors. What is it going to look like? What's going to be the atmosphere? How easy is it going to be? Is it going to be easier to watch on TV or being there in person to see the races? A whole lot of things is going to change for F1 fans. And at the end of the day, 8 races, there's a whole lot to fight for. You can afford sleep-ups, you can afford mistakes, especially going out to the Ferrari people who are always having engine trouble and all of that. They better be able to come back. It's huge. Okay, away from there now, straight to some football stories. Where yesterday, there were lots of action talking about the world of football. Well, firing up from Spain, where the Spanish La Liga did resume for match day 2. That's match day 2 post-coronavirus now, but it's still match day 28. That was Granada. They went up against Itafe. That one ended 2-1 in favor of Granada. Well, Nigeria's that was one of our boys was right there, but he was an unused sub in that match. Valencia and Levante. I think this was the one I thoroughly enjoyed last night because we saw so many people who have been complaining, people like me now, let me admit it, who have been complaining that, we don't enjoy football with our fans and all of that. There was this opportunity where there were simulations, fan noises and all of that. And at the end of the day, it still looked slightly like the natural TV we watch. So at the end of the day, Valencia, they held it down, but they were unable to finally finish off that one. Rodrigo got himself into the score sheet for Valencia, and that later Levante added one to their name. At the end of the day, it ended 1-0 between Valencia and Levante. The big question question for Valencia has to be that how exactly would they make sure that at the end of the day they don't miss out? It's going to be very, very important. And also for Levante, no one really expected them to pull something yesterday, especially after picking up that red card and going a man down. But they will still get to see the 5-4 relegation. Will they be able to survive it? There's a whole lot for Levante right there. Okay, away from Spain now, straight to Germany, where also yesterday Hoffenheim hosted Leipzig. That one ended 2-0 in favor of Leipzig. I guess for Leipzig, it's going to be one rejuvenation. Too late. Yes, they drew last weekend. They have won this weekend, but so many people are still smarting from the fact that they were in the best position to win the Bundesliga this season, and somehow they bottled it, which is just so very surprising for me. Away from there now to Italy, where this was where most of the highlights came in from yesterday. It was the Coppa Italia semi-finals between Juventus and AC Milan. Well, 13 minutes into that game, Cristiano Ronaldo missed a penalty kick. But in as much as we talk about the fact that he missed a penalty kick, we also have to give some accolades to the keeper, that's Donnarumma. He also rose up to the occasion right there yesterday. So, but at the end of the day, due to away goals difference, now Juventus have made it to the finals of the Coppa Italia. Well, today we will be having the other game that will be between Napoli and Inter Milan. Whoever wins it, don't forget that Napoli is still leading that one by a goal to nil. Inter Milan need to make sure that they get something right today. Whoever wins in there will be joining Juventus at the finals of the Coppa Italia. Straight away from there now to Portugal, where matches also resumed yesterday in the Portuguese league as a Sporting CP. They defeated Pacos Ferreira. That was a goal to nil. And also in Turkey, action continued also in Turkey as Fenerbahce defeated Kayserispor. That was 2-1, while Göztepe lost at home to Trabzonspor by 3-1. Lots and lots of football action right there. But then let's come back here and talk about the Premier League now. There are some developments in the Premier League that is already gaining traction. And now the Premier League released a statement saying that players' names will be replaced by Black Lives Matter for the first 12 matches. So if you say, oh, when the Premier League returns, I'm going to be happy because I'm going to start seeing Oliver Giroud on the jersey, I'm going to see Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, I'm going to look on my jersey, I'm going to see Bruno Fernandes. Well, sorry to bust your bubble. As it stands, players' names would not be on the jerseys anymore. Instead, they will be replaced by the words Black Lives Matter, and it's going to be for the first 12 matches of resumption. And also they say a Black Lives Matter logo will be on the shirts for the rest of the season. And also they say that the players will support the PL now will support players who deserve to take a knee. Let me quickly go through that statement. It says, we the players stand together with the singular objective of eradicating racial prejudice wherever it exists, to bring about a global society of inclusion, respect, and also equal opportunities for all, now regardless of their color or creed. Now this symbol is a sign of unity from all players, all staff, all clubs, all match officials, and also the Premier League. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. Okay, I think yes, Black Lives Matter. This is something that has been reiterated for a very, very long time. Something we'll still keep reiterating for a very, very long time. But the big question for me is this: does this end with they wear a shirt where they write Black Lives Matter, or does it end with the fact that their jerseys will be having a Black Lives Matter logo, or does it end with where they will actually take a knee? I think there's a whole lot to look at here. 2 days ago, Dwight York, the great for Manchester United, he came out and he was talking emphatically about the fact that how hard it is now for black coaches to get into management positions right there in the Premier League for starters. Now, if you want to ask the peer, what exactly would you be doing? All this, oh, let's wear different shirts, let's wear different. It looks up, if you want to use the word patronizing at the end of the day. At the end of the when the buzz dies down, that's the end of it. We'll wait again till something happens, and then you start saying Black Lives Matter. Why don't you just effect the changes that everyone is talking about right now? Why don't don't you just bring in the real changes? Talk about management, talk about players, and all of that. I mean, if you look at the Premier League, there is no. I think family back when Brighton, before Brighton's last coach left. Now I'm trying to get his name now. He was, as a last season, he was the only black coach they had in the Premier League. Now this season, there's no black coach in the Premier League. You begin to ask questions. Are they saying that black coaches are not good enough for the job? Even if you look at the women's category, that's the Women's Super League, we don't have a black coach, right? I think the only black coach they also had in the Women's Super League also was the Brighton coach. There's a particular woman. She was also the Brighton coach. You get to ask questions. Why don't you? Recently, the NFL made some laws that made it important to make 30% of their staff. Now, 30% of your staff of every team have to be BME players, BME people that are talking about black, Asians, and also the mixed ethnic people. Why don't you bring in such incorporations into also the Premier League? That is when you can say, okay, yes, we are making a real change. I mean, it doesn't stop with wearing Black Lives Matter clothes. It doesn't stop with putting a logo on your chest and all of that. Make some real systemic changes. Tell the clubs that you have to bring in these people. You have to bring them into the backroom staff. They have to be a part of everything. They don't have to be shut out of the whole process. I think this little changes here and there definitely would make a difference. They would go a long way, more than saying, no, let's wear clothes and all of that. Okay, well, still talking about the Premier League now. A minute silence to remember those who have died with coronavirus will be held before the first matches after the Premier League restarts. Now, the tribute will take place before the opening two fixtures on the 17th of June and also the first full round of games next weekend. Well, Earth-shaped badges in tribute to frontline NHS staff would also be worn on kits. Well, clubs have agreed to a range of medical and operational protocols for the restart of the season. There will be strict limits on those allowed into stadiums on match days. Grounds will be split up into zones, including the tunnel and also the pitch side. There will be deep cleaning of corner flags, goalposts, substitution boards, and also match balls before and after each schedule. The Premier League, they're making sure that everything is in place for return to football. Finally, before I quickly jet out of the studio, let's take a look at some of the La Liga fixtures we will be having going forward. Earlier, we talked about today we'll be having, yesterday we had Granada going up against Getafe and also Valencia up against Levante. But today, Espanyol will be playing host to Deportivo Alaves. Celta de Vigo also will be playing host to Villarreal. Real Valladolid will be traveling down to keep it there with Leganes, and Mallorca will be playing host to Barcelona. I'm sure so many people are really excited about this one. The buzz it generated yesterday, seeing football players get back into the field, seeing someone like Cristiano Ronaldo get back into action for Juventus. I'm sure we will be having such a buzz again today when Lionel Messi gets on the pitch up against Mallorca. Then tomorrow, Sunday, Athletic Bilbao will be up against Atletico Madrid. Real Madrid will be playing Osasuna, while Real Sociedad will be up against Osasuna. Okay, definitely the march we can take this morning right here on a Sported Bits this beautiful Saturday morning. Special thanks to everyone who was a part of production today and to those who listened to us and kept a date with us right there on Agility FM 92.1, Okiogun FM 96.3, on the website www.wcs.tv/listen, on Facebook, on Twitter, and also on Instagram. We're saying thank you so much for being a part of the show tomorrow. Don't forget, tomorrow afternoon by 3 p.m. we will be right here to talk about the procedures that have been put in place for the resumption of the English Premier League. How safe are those procedures at the end of the day? Does the English Premier League have what it takes to host these matches at this point in time? Looking at all the issues surrounding it, and also we'll come back home and look at this story regarding the NSF. Is it really important to have it right now? We'll get to talk about all of that tomorrow afternoon by 3 p.m. I definitely will meet you here. But for this morning, it is bye for now. My name is Mira Kinshala.